Hi everybody, welcome to Ecodriver. My name is Helmut. Today we go out on the Ecodriver Loop with an old friend of ours with the Toyota Corolla station wagon 1.8 liter. I've already done a test with basically his sibling, the Suzuki Sways, but now we are in the original. So here we have the 72 kilowatt petrol engine, 4-cylinder Atkinson. The electric motor delivers 53 kilowatts. WLTP is, the consumption is rated with 3.4 to 3.6 liters per 100 kilometers, and the unladen weight is 1,530 kilograms, 3,366 pound. Basically, that's the smaller of the two engines available in the Corolla. You can have the 2-liter engine as well. We'll see what we can do this time. I have slightly adapted my driving style when it comes to Toyota hybrids. It's, if you know the expression pulse and glide, thanks for one user to tell me that. I did it, but I didn't know that it's called that. So it's pulse and glide. There are some videos on YouTube about this. Basically, when the combustion engine kicks in, then I push the pedal even a bit harder in order to make best use of the combustion engine running and build up some momentum, and also charging the battery, which is done automatically. And as soon as possible, I'll lift my foot off the accelerator a bit, and the engine turns off, which works very well with the Toyota hybrids. The route we're doing is the same as usual. If you know my channel, you know this route. We go out of town. We start in southeastern outskirts of Innsbruck. The first kilometer is in 30 kilometer per hour zone, and then we start an ascent, which elevates us around 360 meters, 1100 feet, followed by some rolling hills, a descent, some mixed roads, speed limits ranging from 30 to 100 kilometers an hour, 20 to 60 miles per hour, and motorway, although we are only restricted to 100 kilometers an hour there. And at the end we have some 18 kilometers, 11 miles of city traffic. At the end of every section, we check the sectoral and overall consumption, and at the end we analyze the whole trip. The cameras will be on all the time in order to show how am I driving in order to achieve the consumption that we will have achieved at the end, and B, to prove that there is no need to go slow in order to be efficient. Despite some people claiming I'm going way too slow, and that's not realistic what I'm doing. I mean, if you know my videos, you know that it's not me, or not the Ecodriver, who's the obstacle on the road who blocks other road users from going faster. Normally we are stuck behind some slow drivers. Well, I hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you after every section, and have fun. Yes, unfortunately, you see here we have the bus and the lorry in front of us, so we cannot go as efficient as we would like to. Nevertheless, we're coming to the end of the climb now, and we see here 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers. Now we're coming on to the hills, and the Toyota hybrids are, in my opinion, the best suited hybrids for hilly terrain, as with those drivetrains you really can't make the decision yourself when to switch on and off the the petrol engine. Of course, you need to have some charge in the battery, but basically it's in your own hand when to switch the engine off. And yeah, imagine just like on a roller coaster, build up some momentum on the way down, if possible, without using the petrol engine, and use this momentum to go into the next climb or flat section. And shortly before the top or the summit of a hill, you can make the petrol engine go off by just lifting your foot off the accelerator a bit, and cover the last couple of meters electrically, because on the way down you charge the battery anyway. That helps definitely to save some fuel. As you can see, unfortunately, the GoPro, which faces the speedometer, doesn't work anymore, but I promise you it will come back in a couple of minutes. With regards to the consumption, yeah, in this case, you have to trust me what I tell you. We're now coming to the end of the hills, and we have 6.9 liters per 100 kilometers. Now on the descent, there are two things we have to keep in mind. Firstly, the electric motor is pretty small and weak. 53 kilowatts, it's not the world, so therefore you don't have enough braking power to really brake the car down from higher speeds if you push the brake pedal hard. So therefore, avoid hard braking, read the road, look ahead, and try to avoid hard braking. Otherwise, you're just using the friction brakes, or the friction brakes are used, and you cannot regenerate all the potential energy that is stored in the car, or in the movement of the car and in the altitude. And secondly, the battery is also rather small. I think it's around 0.7 kilowatt hours in capacity, and therefore after a couple of 100 meters the battery will be full, and you cannot make use of the energy that is possibly be produced, or that can't be produced because there is nowhere to go. So if you go longer descents regularly, longer than, let's say, 200 meters of drop in altitude, then you might consider a plug-in hybrid, which has a bigger capacity of the battery and therefore allows you to store more electric energy. The two flat sections we have, I tried to pass or cross without the additional use of energy, but it also depends on the other traffic. We're now coming to the end of the descent, and we see here 4.6, 4.7, 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Now on the mixed roads, as I said before, we have speed limits ranging from 30 to 100 kilometers an hour, 20 to 62 miles per hour. And here it's important to keep the vehicle in motion. Try to avoid braking. Yes, I know, it's a hybrid and you regenerate some energy when you brake, but never that amount that you had to invest before or have to invest afterwards in order to re-accelerate the car. So therefore, try to avoid braking, keep the vehicle in motion. If there's a change of speed downwards, so let's say from 80 to 60 or 100 to 80, lift your foot off the accelerator as soon as possible and just keep the vehicle coasting. So at the end of the open road section of the mixed roads, we have 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers. We're now coming onto the motorway, and here we are restricted to 100 kilometers an hour. This is what it is. I cannot go anywhere else because I don't have the cars for long enough time. And yeah, if you want to know how much the car consumes when you go faster, then unfortunately, or fortunately, you have to frequent another channel. Now at the end of the motorway, we see 4.1 liters per 100 kilometers. What we see on the motorway with the Toyota hybrids is that when the combustion engine is driving the car, it's also charging the battery. It's by moving the point of high load towards the higher load, or the point of load to a higher load, and therefore it makes this makes the burning process more efficient. And then you have some capacity left or some energy in the battery, and then you go some 100 meters electrically. I used to think that it's not very efficient, but who am I to question the Toyota or Aisin engineers? They know what they're doing, and yes, as we all see with the results, they know what they're doing, and this is rather efficient. We're now coming on to city traffic, and here it's important to, the same procedure as last year. Read the road, try to anticipate what other road users are doing, try to see the traffic lights from as far ahead as possible, and therefore keep the vehicle in motion. Try to avoid braking, and just make use of the knowledge you have about the route. Most trips are done on routes that you're doing regularly, be it for work, be it for shopping, whatever. So make use of this knowledge. So we're now coming to the end, and we see here 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers, and now the details. So now let's have a quick look at the sectoral and overall consumption of our trip with the Toyota Corolla station wagon 1.8 hybrid on the Ecodriver Loop. Hopefully it's in your language too. And here we see the table with all the hybrid cars I have tested so far. And you see here the Suzuki Sways with 3.5 liters per 100 kilometers in second spot at the moment. Well, that's basically the same car, just with the Suzuki badge on it. And yeah, there were different circumstances. It was much slower. You see, it took me 7 minutes more to complete the whole trip. Although we had winter tires, this time we had summer tires. So yeah, 0.3 liters per 100 kilometers. Well, yes, it's a difference, but and I can't say that this or that is the reason why we had a higher consumption this time. Maybe because the AC was on, and with the Sways it was not. But yeah, but 3.8 is still, I think, rather good figure for this car. And you've seen how I was driving, you've seen the speeds, and at least most of the time when the camera was working. And the main factor for a low consumption, for good economy, sits behind the steering wheel. And I'm sure you can drive this car with 6-7 liters per 100 kilometers, but why? And the main thing, or the most important thing for eco driving, if you want to do this, is just keep the vehicle rolling. Use the momentum that you have built up once in the car, in the movement of the car, and keep this momentum, keep the vehicle going. Try to avoid braking. Yes, it recuperates a little bit, just like any other EV, but you never get back what you have invested beforehand. So therefore, try to avoid braking. Keep the vehicle in motion, keep it moving, keep it rolling. And so then you should be able to achieve similar figures as well. Talking about those figures, you see the Mazda 2 hybrid, which is basically a Toyota Yaris hybrid. And I had 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers with this car. And if you want to see how this was possible, then feel free to click on this video here. And down here you'll find my 5 tips of how to drive hybrid cars more efficiently. I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.